Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're buzzing with excitement because we are diving into the absolutely amazing world of one of the planet's most important creatures, the bee. But first, let's kick things off with a real head-scratcher. Have you ever looked at a honeycomb and wondered, why hexagons? I mean, out of all the shapes in the world, why are these tiny insects such brilliant architects? How did they land on the perfect six-sided shape? Well, let's find out. To crack this code, we have to see how these tiny builders actually construct their incredible homes. It's a process that's way more fascinating than you might think. Okay, now this is where it gets absolutely wild. First, to even make the building material, wax, they have to eat a ton of honey. Get this, it takes about 8 ounces of honey just to produce 1 single ounce of wax. They secrete these tiny little flakes from glands on their bellies. Then, they link up, leg to leg, forming these living chains. It's like their own scaffolding. They vibrate their flight muscles like crazy to generate heat, which makes the wax nice and soft. They start by molding it into cylinders, but here's the magic trick. When you push a bunch of warm, soft cylinders together, they naturally settle into the most efficient shape possible, perfect hexagons.
And that is the genius behind it all. It's pure math and physics. The hexagon gives them the most possible storage space for all that honey, while using the absolute least amount of that precious, hard-to-make wax. No gaps, no wasted space, no wasted energy. It's literally a perfect design.
So, we know the honeycomb is a super efficient pantry, but it is so much more than that. Let's take a look inside and see how it works as the heart of the colony. Think of it as a bustling city, home to a very, very organized family.
Inside this city, you've basically got 3 types of bees, and each one has a super specific job. First, you have the queen. She is the mother of every single bee in that hive. Then you've got the drones. They're the male bees, and their one and only job in life, to mate with a queen from a different colony. And last but not least, you have the worker bees. They're all female, and, well, the name says it all. They do everything else.
And when we say the queen's job is vital, we are not kidding. She is an absolute egg-laying machine. Just think about this number for a second. At her peak, she can lay over 2,500 eggs in a single day. That's more than her own body weight in eggs.
So who's taking care of all those babies and literally everything else? Yep, the worker bees. Their to-do list is endless. They start out as housekeepers, cleaning and feeding the young. Then they become construction workers, building the comb. After that, they're guards, protecting the hive. They even act as the hive's air conditioning. You know that constant, familiar humming sound? That's the sound of thousands of bees fanning their wings to keep the hive at a perfect 95 degrees. It's only at the very end of their short lives that they finally get to go outside and become foragers to find food.
So you see, a hive is so much more than just a house. It's a temperature-controlled nursery, a fully stocked pantry, and even a communication hub where bees do these amazing, complex dances to tell their sisters exactly where to find the best flowers. It's incredible.
All right, let's follow one of those hard-working forager bees as she heads out on her most important mission, gathering the raw ingredients to feed the entire colony. Okay, get ready, because this is nature's sweetest recipe, and also maybe its weirdest. A forager uses its long, straw-like tongue to drink nectar and stores it in a special honey stomach. When she gets back to the hive, she passes that nectar to another bee by regurgitating it into its mouth. Yep, you read that right. They pass it from bee to bee, and each time they add special enzymes that start breaking it down. Finally, they put the mix into a honeycomb cell and fan it with their wings to evaporate all the extra water, which thickens it into the delicious honey we know and love.
So it's a really important difference to remember. Nectar is just the raw, watery juice from a flower. Honey is the finished product, a super concentrated food that's designed to last the whole colony all winter long when there are no flowers.
But here's the coolest part. While they're on this mission for nectar, they're doing something else, something critically important. And they don't even know they're doing it. As they buzz around, their fuzzy little bodies, which are covered in about 3 million tiny hairs, act like pollen magnets. When they fly to the next flower, some of that pollen rubs off. That's pollination, and it's what allows plants to make the fruits, vegetables, and seeds that basically feed the world. And this quote really brings it all home. Seriously, from apples and almonds to coffee and cucumbers, we have bees to thank for about 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat. Their accidental side hustle is absolutely essential for our own survival.
Which is exactly why this next part is so important to talk about. Despite how critical they are,
our buzzing buddies are facing some really serious challenges.
The threats are coming from all sides, really. Pesticides used on farms and in gardens can be toxic to them. We're losing natural habitats, which means fewer wildflowers for them to eat. Climate change is messing with when flowers bloom, and just like us, bees can get sick from new diseases and pests.
Now, I know that sounds pretty serious, and it is, but here is the good news. We can all be part of the solution. Every single one of us can become a bee's best friend. And you don't have to be a scientist to help. The things we can do are actually pretty simple. Planting a garden with flowers bees love gives them food. You can ask the grown-ups you know to skip the harsh chemicals in the yard. Even something as small as a bee bath, which is just a shallow dish of water with some pebbles for them to land on, can save a thirsty bee. And of course, buying local honey helps support the beekeepers who are on the front lines protecting these amazing insects. At the end of the day, even the smallest actions can make a huge difference. So the next time you see a bee, remember its incredible life, from building that perfect hexagon home to helping create the food on your plate. And then ask yourself, what are you going to do to be a bee's best friend?